Today, we're going to learn how to multiply decimals, such as this one, 8.25 times 23.5, with no calculator. And you're probably asking, why should I need to do that? What is a real-life application? Well, I have one here. A carpenter needs to buy lumber for a project. Each piece of wood costs $8.25, and the project requires 23.5 pieces. What is the total cost? In this case, we have to multiply these pieces by this amount. It's quite simple, and I'll show you how. So at first, I start by writing this as I have it above. 8.25 times 23.5. Now first, we want to turn these into whole numbers. So to do that, we move the decimals all the way to the right. So we move this 1, 2 times. It ends up there. And we only move this 1 time. So then, it would end up looking like 825 times 235. So we always start from the ones place value, which is the right hand side, and we multiply each digit. 5 times 5 is 25, and I carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus the 2 is 12. And I carry the 1. 5 times 8 is 40, plus the 1 is 41. Make sure you keep everything well lined up. Use your grid paper. So the next we move on to the 3, but it's not a 3, it's 10 times more, isn't it? It's 30. And what happens when something is 10 times more? You multiply by 10, we have to add a 0. There we go, to represent that it's 10 times more. And then we use the same procedure. 3 times 5, remember we do each one. 3 times 5 is, oh, hold on a minute, I almost forgot. You have to make sure that you cross out the last numbers you carried in case you count them again, which you shouldn't do because we've already used them. 3 times 5 is 15, and I carry the 1 in the next column. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 3 times 8 is 24. Now, let's not forget to cross out this one, because we've used it now. Let's move on to the 2. But is it a 2? It isn't. It's 200, isn't it? So what happens when you multiply anything by 100? It's a hundredths place value. You put 2 zeros. Let's add the 2 zeros. 1, 2. And let's do each number step by step. 2 times 5 is 10. And I carry the 1 again. Notice how crucial it was to cross out the last one that I carried, because you might accidentally count that when it's already been counted. So 2 times 5 is 10. I carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 times 8 is 16. And then you just add these together. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. 5 plus 4 is 9. Plus another 4 is 13. So I put the 3 and I carry the 1. 6 plus 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. And 1 plus 0, or there's nothing else to add, so it's just 1. So you're probably thinking, But what do we do with the decimals? So the trick is, here the decimals moved a total of 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. So because we had to move them 3 times in total to the right to make whole numbers, imagine the decimal is all the way over here to the right, so we just move it the same amount of times back to the left. 1, 2, 3. So your answer is 193.875. And you're probably thinking, but hold on a minute, this has got to do with money, and you're right. So really, if we round this, there is no 88 cents. There's only multiples of 5. For example, here in Australia, if it was to the second decimal place, that would be 88 cents. But because we only have multiples of 5 cents, that would be 88. And then the nearest round up would be 90. 90 cents would be your obvious rounding up from here. So a logical answer, rounded, is $193.90. Now I'm going to show you 2 other methods, so stay tuned for these 2 videos coming up. The Italian lattice method and also the box array method. I tend to like this method, but you can choose either one of them and they all achieve the same result, whichever you find more comfortable for you. So, thanks very much. See you later.